congresswoman from Texas and sits on the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. And I'm awfully glad to have you here because I read what you said, apologizing to the world. And I want to go deeper into it because you said, I'm sorry that the bright light America used to be is dimming.
Yeah.
Why did that whole interaction seem to be so distant for you, for what the U.S. stands for?
Besides the fact that we're talking about an ally, we're talking about Ukraine, a country that was invaded. First, it started off with trying to change the facts. We don't live in a world of alternative facts, trying to change the reality of who invaded who. After we kept saying that Trump was nothing but Putin's puppet, we kept saying that he was palling around with Putin. We've said it all kinds of ways. But this comes at the heels of the UN voting with Russia. This also then is an opportunity for Trump to show that, no, America knows who our friends are and we're going to stand with those friends. And unfortunately, he decided that he wanted to talk about his clothes. Now, maybe this is because Trump never wanted to go serve his country. And right now, the only service that he's giving to us is driving our country apart. But I'm sorry, when you're at war, you're not worried about your outfit. That is what we call a privilege. Number one. Number two, to say, oh, what can you afford? Well, if he was walking around in the fanciest suits, I'm sure that they would accuse him of taking our dollars and spending it on his wardrobe and being more concerned about that. Listen, this is a no-win situation when you're walking in with someone who has decided that he is going to align himself with a dictating thug.
Okay, so to that end, we know before the exchange, what was supposed to happen was there was going to be the signing of this preliminary mineral deal, at least, right? Aiming to end the war, but without Trump committing to any security guarantees. I mean, you say that peace should not have a price tag, but there are some Republicans, as you know, and the president claiming that, oh, you know what, America is being taken advantage of here. Is there a middle ground we can get to?
There's not a middle ground with this president. He has no intentions of doing right by, number one, the United States. I appreciate what the former governor was saying. We are in a national security crisis. We have been in a national security crisis ever since, honestly, before he even ran. We know that he had our national secrets stored in Mar-a-Lago. People felt like that wasn't really a big deal. They wanted to compare it to what was going on with Joe Biden. We know that he was showing this to people that maybe weren't supposed to see our national security secrets. We know that he is consistently engaged in questionable deals as it relates to our emoluments clause when he was in the first go-round. Next thing you know, his son-in-law was getting a lot of money from the Saudis as soon as they walked out. And so right now, and not to mention, he has decided that his DOJ will not prosecute cases that engage in any type of foreign nefariousness when it comes to getting money. So unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. He swore an oath just like the rest of us. But right now, when you are literally putting us at risk, all because of what? Because you want to convince your followers that you should be a dictator too, that you should never leave the White House because you don't believe that elections should take place. I don't really understand what is going on, and I don't know what it's going to take to get people to wake up. We are not living in a safe country when we decide that we are going to weaken our national security by getting rid of those that are watching our nuclear stockpile, by giving everything over to a private friend known as Elon Musk. We are getting rid of all of the inspector generals. And so there's literally a lack of checks and balances all around us. And then we have somebody who's sitting his vice president out to offend our allies in Europe. Listen, the way that I used to explain this on the trail when I was campaigning for Madam Vice President is I would say, listen, it's kind of like the schoolyard. When you go to school and everybody knows that your siblings are at the same school, or they know that your cousins are at the same school, then they may not pick a fight with you because they know that if they pick a fight with you, they got to pick a fight with your whole family. But when you're like me, an only child, they may decide to pick a fight with you because they're like, there's nobody that is going to back her up when we get to the playground. Right now, he's trying to put us into a situation to where we will be the only ones on the playground when you're going out talking about you're going to go into Canada, when you're going out and you're talking about Mexico. Listen, Zelenskyy is right. He doesn't have the privilege that we have. We've got water on each side, and we used to have friends on the north and south. He doesn't have that privilege. And so I really want America to wake up, because this should not be partisan. Be the selfish people that we love to be in America.
Yeah.
Worry about your safety.